I'm joined now by Meta CFO Susan Li in a first on CNBC interview. And Susan, in fact, this is your first TV interview since you've taken on the role. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me, Julia. It's really great to be here today with you and your viewers.
So, Susan, we just heard from David some of the various ways that Meta outperformed expectations, also guiding to better than expected results in the third quarter. Other than just the ad market, what's behind this upside surprise?
Yeah, I mean, if you don't mind, I really think there are three big takeaways for us from the Q2 earnings. First, as you mentioned, it was just a really strong quarter across all of our user and engagement metrics. We obviously saw a re-acceleration in ad revenue. That's in part driven by the fact that we've seen the broader macroeconomic landscape stabilize, especially after a really volatile, last 12, 18 months. The second is I think we're really seeing our year of efficiency work pay off for us and put us in a position going forward where we have a better cost structure that's going to enable us to deliver solid consolidated results going forward. And then more importantly, enable us to move more quickly and nimbly and just build more products and ship faster to all of the people who use our experiences. The third thing I just wanted to call out is there are a lot of places we're still looking to invest in 2024. I talked about that on the call yesterday, and that includes, our investments in AI, which are going to flow through our infrastructure costs. That includes hiring top-tier technical talent as we pivot our workforce to being more technical. And then, of course, our investments in Reality Labs and the metaverse over the long term.
Well, Susan, I want to dig more into these expenses and some areas where you're investing, as well as this year of efficiency. But first, I think we should dig in a little bit more into the ad market. There's been so much concern about an ad winter. It looks like you see things turning around and growth accelerating, but you are lapping some very easy comps with the year ago period. What are you seeing more broadly in the ad market right now?
Yeah, that's definitely the case, that we are in some ways set up for an easier comparison because of the deceleration in the ads business last year. I'll say what we're seeing right now, though, is, we've certainly seen stabilization in the digital ads market in the beginning of this year. We're seeing some of the verticals that we're particularly exposed to, like e-commerce, retail, CPG, gaming. We're seeing strength in some of those verticals. So we feel like that's promising and we're optimistic. But, there's a wide range of possible outcomes. If anything, I've been humbled by all of the big fluctuations in ad demand that we've seen over the last 12, 24 months. And, I recognize that there is a lot of uncertainty in the future.
You talked quite a bit on the call yesterday about the investment you're making in AI infrastructure. Explain to us how that's going to actually impact the top line. We heard from Mark Zuckerberg about your open source Llama program, your partnership with Microsoft, and he said that is not going to boost top line revenue. So just clarify for us some of these investments that will impact either the advertiser or consumer experience.
Yeah, so we've been investing in AI for a long time. A lot of our core AI work has been powering our recommendations work, our ranking work, the discovery engine that we've talked about. And that's driven both engagement growth for us. We talked a lot on the call about how we're seeing real growth now, and incremental growth in particular come from recommendations of content from accounts that you didn't initially follow. So that's been a meaningful driver for us in both Facebook and Instagram. And then, of course, on the ad side, where we've been investing for a long time in making our ad systems more performant, more measurable to increase ROI for advertisers. We also are now investing in Gen AI work. And this is a place where we really feel like there's an opportunity for us to make and bring even more memorable experiences, I think, to people who use our products in terms of the organic content experience. And then also, of course, to help businesses communicate quickly and more easily with their customers. So we're pretty excited about both those things. But obviously, the Gen AI work is much newer, and we don't expect, that there's going to be meaningful revenue impact in the very near future. But it's just very early, and it's a really compelling opportunity.